So thank you very much, dear devotees, for giving the valuable association. So we'll get started. We're a little late, but that's fine. Jaya Ram, Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana, Girivardhari, Jaya Gopi Jana, Girivardhari, Yasodanandana Jaja Jana Yasodanandana Jaja Jana Yamuna Tura Ramachari Yamuna Tura Ramachari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः तदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna. Dear Madhuri, for giving your association. very valuable association. Very grateful to all of you, and we are very happy and very grateful to Vishaka Mata and Vikas Prabhu for giving their home, opening doors of their home for all of us to come and do satsang. So thank you very much. So we'll continue study from Srimad Bhagavatam. We have, last time we stopped at verse number 24. Yeah. So let's go to verse 24. No, I don't need. So this is a very, very wonderful chapter that we are studying. We had a little break last 2 weeks, couldn't do it. But yeah, it's a very, very wonderful chapter. And all the instruction given by Bhishmadev is so profound. Very, very powerful instruction given by him. So let us get started. So before we begin, I just want to make sure we do this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So whatever presentation that I'm going to make is all from Srila Prabhupada's purpose and the various lectures that I have listened to. So nothing is mine. I'm just trying to represent and serve all of you. But any credit which comes to this, I'll pass it on to all the speakers whom I have listened to and Srila Prabhupada, because they have guided me in this. And any mistake that may be there, it will be solely mine. So please forgive me for anything like that. And please bless me and please empower me so I can speak few words which will enlighten all of our hearts so we can make progress in our bhakti. With that, let's get started. And I would like to give my gratitude to all the speakers who I listened to and I take inspiration from. Thank you very much. Okay, so verse number 25. Let's go to verse 25. Yes. So last time we saw that all the Pandavas have assembled along with Lord Shri Krishna around Bhishmadev, right? And yeah, and Bhishmadev is going to speak now. So it's a very, very wonderful thing which are coming up. We can pay attention. So here now, Sutta Goswami is going to give us some insight. What is happening there? Like, commentator, he says, okay, this is what is happening. Like the Sutta Goswami is going to say something. So let's see what Sutta Goswami is saying. Sutta Uvacha Yudhishthirastat Akarnya Shayanam Sharapanjare Apruchat Vividhan Dharman Rishinam Chanu Sarvatam. Okay. So, Kavish, can you please read translation, brother?
spiritual principle of various religious beliefs.
Hare Krishna. So Bhishma Dev has spoken in very appealing tone, like somebody who's on the deathbed, right? How he's like he want to give his final, and he's also in very too much in pain, so much pain he's going through. But that is amazing thing that that Prabhupada writes in the purport, very beautiful purport. So all the translation in purport by our beloved Gurudev is divine. He is divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Bhishma Dev, speaking in the appealing tone, convinced Maharaj Yudhishthira that he was very soon passing away. And Yudhishthira was inspired by Lord Shri Krishna to ask him of the principles of religion. So when Bhishma Dev was giving him instruction, because Maharaj Yudhishthira was very morose, after so many people have been killed, he was feeling said, oh, just for me to rule this, so many lives have to be taken, right? But Bhishma Dev convinced him, no, it's not your fault. It's not because of you this what has happened. So to console him, Bhishma Dev spoke. But now Krishna is making a plan. Krishna wants Yudhishthira to ask question. So Bhishma Dev can speak something. See how Krishna arranges to glorify his devotees. He is making plan to glorify his devotees. Like we take care, with our children. When there's some event, we want our children to also to come on stage, do something. We make plans, right? Similarly, Krishna has such an amazing and beautiful plan to glorify his true devotees, pure devotees. So that is what Krishna is doing here, right? So, Hare Krishna, please come, please come. Welcome, New York Wasi again from Manhattan. And Hare Krishna, please come. Thanks for hearing Hare Krishna. Please come here, there's a lot of space. It's like everybody is in a corner. I don't know why it is like that. Maybe everybody looking for some back support. Okay. I was like wondering why everybody is like so much open space here. Yeah, there are questions coming up. She had told you have to put questions. I said, okay. So, quiz is same as questions, right? And quiz, what do you do? Questions, okay? So we'll have something, don't worry. Okay. So Lord Krishna is inspiring to ask questions, but what kind of question? Not the mundane questions and all that, but this is very specific on the principles of religion. That is what Krishna is inspiring Yudhishthira Maharaj to ask Vishnu. Then Prabhupada further writes, Lord Shri Krishna inspired Maharaj Yudhishthira to ask Bhishmadev in the presence of many great sages, indicating thereby that the Lord's devotee like Bhishmadev, although apparently living as a worldly man, is far superior to many great sages, even Vyasadeva. So, see, when somebody has to speak, it is an assembly, and there are many devotees sitting. Then somebody say, Prabhuji, you speak. So that means he's given important means his words make a lot of sense. Will inspire many people. That's why we tell. Not anybody and say, okay, Prabhu, you speak. Not like that, isn't it? So here also, Bhishmadev is asked to speak and not anybody else. Yudhishthira Maharaj is not asking so many other rishis which have assembled there. Asking Bhishmadev. Right? And there is another beautiful thing which is Krishna is planning. Of course, he wants Bhishmadev. So when we see normal devotees, the pure devotees who are in the material body, with them suffering, with them going through so much pain, miseries in life, you think, oh, he's a pure devotee. How come he's going through that? That thought naturally comes. Somebody is pure. How come so much pain is unbelievable? But that is what Krishna is trying to prove here. So people of like Bhishmadev who are pure devotees, it doesn't matter they are in this body, they are going through so much pain, but they are much elevated than the rishis, much higher elevated than that. So that's what Krishna is trying to prove that. And further, Prabhupada writes, another point is that Bhishmadev at that time was not only lying on a deathbed of arrows, but was greatly aggrieved because of the state. You're having so much pain. He's having so much pain. It's not easy. So here one point in this one. See, why Krishna is doing this? Which will come in the end, but I was asking questions. Why Krishna is doing? Krishna always wants his devotees to be worshipped more than him. Krishna always wants that his devotees are glorified compared to him. Krishna will be more pleased if we serve the devotees. That's why he said Dasanudas. I want to serve the devotee. And automatically Krishna will be more pleased if he serves the devotees. Right? So that's the reason Krishna is doing this. And Bhishmadev is very aggrieved. So why is he aggrieved? Obviously because he's on a deathbed, right? So I want to show you something, devotees. This is something very touchy. Same thing. When Srila Prabhupada was there, this is 1977, October, 1 month before he departed. In Vrindavan, see, when you see this translation, the purport, this is the same purport that Prabhupada is transcribing here. So you can hear that. It is such an amazing thing. So I have to share again, because sound will go there. So please listen with attention. So this shows that, even the pure devotee, when they are in this condition, when their body is very fragile, very weak, so much pain is there, still their consciousness is very pure and very high. That is a point which you need to understand. Okay, so let's see.
If we are in devotional service, we get a different nature. And if we engage in the business of sense gratification, the result is different.
And then the karma is tad dehopalabdhi hetu.
Yeah. And according to the association of different nature, we get a body. Karanam gunasangasya satasat janma yoni. Therefore, we should always seek good association, devotee association. Then on life will be successful.
See, this is the same thing which is highlighted. Prabhupada is speaking exactly this. And he's even quoting verse. And the devotee is prompting his yes, and then he speaks. Look at the consciousness few days before he depart from this world. And he's stressing the point on what? Association. Good association. Good association is what? Devotee association. We should always try to be in the company of a devotee. Because when we are in company of devotee, we are sure that we are not going to discuss some mundane discussion and topics, right? And our consciousness will remain intact. Otherwise, consciousness, when you try to meet material people, your consciousness goes there, they have to bring it back. So many efforts are required for that. But here, you can see how Prabhupada. So this proves this point. Look at this point. The Lord Krishna wanted to prove that his pure devotee are always sound in body and mind by dint of spiritual enlightenment. And thus, in any circumstances, a devotee of the Lord is in perfect order to speak of the right way of life. This is exactly what it is. We can see example, living example right now. Our dear Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, is in this body, in this consciousness. Who can speak? Nothing. I have seen so many old people pass away in our family, my friend's father and all that. And they have no idea. They are just looking at something and they ask if they are not even speaking. Those kind of consciousness are there. But here Prabhupada is actually dictating, and those are the purpose which are written here. Such an amazing. So dear devotees, bhakti is very rare. We have come in such an amazing parampara. Our gurus are so exalted that we should not take this cheaply. We should become so steady in our bhakti. We should do our rounds attentively. We should read all the scriptures, especially Srila Prabhupada's books, very attentively. Prabhupada used to ask, are you studying my book? The devotee said, I'm reading your books every day. Prabhupada, no. Are you studying my book? Studying is different than reading. Right? All the here students, school going, they know. Reading is much different than studying, isn't it, Sri Hari? Studying means you have to understand what is it, then you have to refer to few things. That's how it is. So here Prabhupada is saying we should study their books. Meaning where not just this, we have this, then there's a reference, then we should immediately go and refer that. Okay, what is Prabhupada saying? We can try and listen to lecture on this. There's a website where we can hear the lecture of every shloka. And various Maharaj and different devotees have spoken on that. Listen to those lectures. And we can get a lot of inspiration. Because everybody has different point of view, isn't it? We have so many lectures and we have so many point of view. And that's what it is. Bhakti is very tasty, very beautiful. It's never boring. Never. Same lecture, if you listen 10 times also, we'll get some nice points in that. Always. Just think about it. Just try this practice. Same lecture, we listen 10 days. And every day you try to make 1 point or 2 points, right? Every day you will have something to write. It is so sweet.
We actually need to listen to it 10 times to get the whole point.
That is also true. Because our intelligence is not that great. I agree with it. But you said openly. I will not want to say it. But that is true. Because even I, for preparing this class, I listen to the same lecture multiple times and then something comes up. Sometimes I miss something because, something happens, somebody calls, so many things happen. You miss some point and you have to bring it back. So this is very precious. Bhakti is very precious, very rare. Bhakti is very rare, and that too, those who are in this parampara is even rare. So we are very, very fortunate here, devotees. Yudhishthira also preferred to solve his problematic question by asking Bhishmadev rather than ask anyone else present there, who was seemingly more learned than Bhishmadev. See, pure devotee may look like, he's illiterate. For example, over all the Babajis, Jagannath Das Babaji, he looks very illiterate. No qualification. Somebody says, who is he? I mean, he doesn't even have any knowledge. But how elevated he is. So this Krishna says, I give intelligence to, yeah, that's it. When Krishna intervenes, your life becomes perfect. Nothing else is required. This is all due to the arrangement of the great field carrier Lord Sri Krishna, who established the glories of his devotees. So this is what it is. For example, we were just discussing about this, right? The father likes to see the son become more famous than himself. That's a natural thing, right? Obviously, everybody wants, yes, my son should become the best, better than me. If the son becomes great or start earning more salary, father is more happier. Oh, wow. I've done it, after so many years. He's doing it now. That is a joy they will have. No envy there, isn't it? Father, any father will be envy, hey, he's doing this, or he's doing because of me. I gave him, that's why he's doing. Nothing of that. They'll feel very joyful. They'll tell 10 people, my son did this, he got this grade, he's got this job, he's working here. So we are so happy. So Krishna is Supreme Father. So Lord declares very emphatically that worship of his devotee is more valuable than the worship of Lord himself. So here there is a reference that I will just share, which comes from 11th Canto here. So let us read the translation. So Sri Hari, can you please read the translation? Can you see it? Oh, sorry, purport. I'm sorry. Yeah, read that purport, please. Yeah.
The word much
Puja Bhyadika.
significant to this verse, Abhyadika, indicates the superior quality. The Lord, who is extremely satisfied with those who offer worship to his pure devotees, and he rewards them accordingly. Because of this, because of the Lord's generous appraisal of his pure devotees, worship of the pure devotees is described as superior to the worship of the Lord himself.
Hare Krishna. So here we can see Krishna is always more pleased when we serve the devotees. And he wants to glorify the devotees more than him. If you worship Krishna directly, he's pleased. But if you please the devotee or a guru, then he is even more pleased. Therefore, we should serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada and fulfill whatever Prabhupada had some desires, right? Okay, I want to do this, I want to establish temple, I want to distribute books. Whatever Prabhupada had given instruction, those instructions are something for us also. We should not feel that Prabhupada gave instruction to his disciples when he was on this planet. No, those instructions even for all of us. Just because he is not present doesn't mean those instructions are invalid. They are absolutely valid. And they will be valid for time immemorial, long times. So this is how we can understand this. It's very how Krishna loves his devotees. Okay, let's go to verse number 26 and 27. So there are two verses. The Bhishma Dev is now explaining the dharma. So these are also very long and very wonderful purport. We'll try to understand them. Purusha Swabhava Vihitan Yatha Varna Yatha Varnam Yatha Shramam Vairagya Ragopadibhyam Amnatobhya Lakshanan. Yes, Hava, can you please read? Translation.
Bhishma then first defined all the classifications of castes and orders of life in terms of the individual's qualifications. Then he systematically, in twofold divisions, described counteraction by detachment and interaction by attachment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now Bhishma is going to explain some very wonderful things, especially what Varnashram is going to speak about. That's what we see here, right? So Prabhupada is a very wonderful purport. It's a long purport, but we need to understand from this concept. And unfortunately, in India, this Varnashram system was, exploited, very differently. Especially when the Britishers came, they wanted to divide and rule kind of thing, So they made a very wrong meaning, and the people are still carrying those thought process. But actually, it's a very wonderful. It is called Daivi Varnashram. When you have the Krishna in center and we do all the activity, all the Varna and Ashram are done by keeping Krishna in center, it becomes Daivi Varnashram. And that is the way we all should lead our lives. Okay, so what are the Varnas and what are the Ashramas? Anybody want to make an attempt? It's first. We'll come, but I want to ask.
Wait, what is Varnam is caste, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra.
Okay, and Ashram?
I don't know.
Okay. And sannyas. Yes, very nice. Very good. Okay, so first is over. I like that we will come. Okay. So Krishna has already made this Varnashram system. Bhagavad Gita says he has made this Varnashram system, right? In the fourth chapter. Why it is made? It is to accelerate transcendental qualities of the individual person so that he may gradually realize his spiritual identity and thus act accordingly to get free from material bondage or conditioned life. Now, what is saying Krishna Bhagavan? Prabhupada is saying that we should actually do Varnashram, leave Varnashram system for what? Not to leave the body. Basically people talk about art of living, but here we are talking about art of dying. This is important because what is important? At the time of death, what happens? What I was be thinking, isn't it? That's more important. All the kids study for the final exam, which is going to happen. We prepare for an interview to face the interviewer, right? So that's what it is. After death, what's going to happen? Nobody knows. Nobody knows about it, right? So we all need to prepare for that. So it's not about art of living, but art of dying.
Dying.
In what consciousness I should leave my body, right? So that is what is given more emphasis on. In almost all Puranas, the subject matter is described in the same spirit. And so also in Mahabharata, it is more elaborately described by Bhishmadev in the Shanti Parva, beginning from the 60th chapter. So these things are more elaborately described in Shanti Parva in Mahabharata, which is the main section. That's where we get more of wisdom. Others are all politics and all the stuff, but the Shanti Parva is one of the biggest Parva, in Mahabharata, biggest section, and gives lot of wisdom, how to lead our life, how to live, all those things. Further, Prabhupada writes, the Varnashram Dharma is prescribed for the civilized human being just to train him to successfully terminate human life. Look at this. This is what is saying there. How to successfully terminate one's life, means how to leave the body. Self-realization is distinguished from the life of the lower animal engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. Bhishmadev advised for all human beings 9 qualifications. So now Bhishmadev is giving that what 9 things we should have to be called as human. Okay, so now we do have all, nobody has to say anything. We have to introspect. Okay. Okay, so anybody want to make a guess what could be the thing? What are the 9 things that somebody should possess to be called as human? Not just because we are in this body doesn't mean we are human. Okay, please remember this.
Be kind.
Be kind, okay? Intelligence, okay? We only have intelligence. We have already got that. That's why we are humans. Okay, let's see one by one. I'll show you one by one. Then you have to say yes or no, whether it should be there or it should not be there. Okay? Ready? All right. Let's see. So, what should be there or not there? It should be there. We call as human, or it should not be there. Yes, no.
No.
No. Okay. I'm also saying no, but we all have to introspect. Okay. Yes, no. Correct. Next.
No.
Should we lie? No, we should not lie. We should always speak the truth, right? One. Okay. Next.
Yes.
Yes, we should donate. Donate means sharing the wealth. Whatever wealth we have, we should donate. Give it. Yes. Forgive?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, we should forgive. And we should ask, are we forgiving people? That's what we should do. Okay. Then this is about, marrying with the one woman and having children through her. That's fine, right? That is like marriage. That is fine. Okay. Then this should be there or no? Pure mind and hygiene of the body, right? We should take bath, clean ourselves, those things. Yes. Then should it be inimical? Like envious toward enemy toward, it should not be, right? Yeah, we should be saying all these things. Then we should live simple life, simple living and high thinking. So have simple life. And helping others, especially who are like servants and subordinates, right? Because in India, you'll see every well-to-do family will have some maid servants in home. And normally, they would always, take, when Diwali comes, Dashera comes and all that, some festival, the householder will give them some gifts like, sari or some dhoti and dress, some money and all that. And whole life they will wear the same thing, happily they will live, right? So they should be taken care of. So what is Bhishmadev is saying? There's 9 things. One is that not to become angry. Not to become angry. Okay. Then not to lie. To equally distribute wealth, meaning giving charity, giving to those in need. those things. To forgive, we should forgive people. Forgive and just move on. To beget children only by one's legitimate wife. To be pure in mind and hygiene in the body. This is also important. Not to be inimical towards anyone. To be simple and to support the servant or the subordinate. Now, these qualities, once we have, then we are called human. Otherwise, we are not even the Varnashram. The Shudra begins after once we are in this.
Yeah, Sudra.
Shudra is when we are this, then we are Shudra. Then other thing will come. That's what is giving you instruction. Very beautiful. So this is a matter of introspection. We have to ask ourselves, what are we doing? Right? So this is something that we should do. Very important. Yes, really.
But there's only 7 qualifications.
No. Something that you don't have to do also is a qualification. You don't have to do this. Means you don't have to get angry, but you have to smile, right? Right? You don't have to get angry with someone. You don't have to lie. Means what? You have to speak truth. So certain things are do's and don'ts. So all put together are 9. You're good at maths, it seems. Indian kids, they can always do things like that. Very nice.
So, Prabhu, one question about the mind,
Pure
mind.
Yeah. How the purity of mind
try
is.
to be pure, but the mind has its own.
But haven't we exactly? So how we control it? By chanting, by listening to lectures. When we are listening, when we're chanting, especially when we're listening, we are actively participating in some spiritual activities, and mind is busy with that. In fact, I was speaking with His Holiness Jananivas Prabhuji, when he was staying with us, and I asked him, Prabhuji, how can we chant nicely, without distraction and all that? And he said, one way to do it is just chant loudly, means we should be able to hear our own chanting, and chant little fast. So don't give a space in between. It's like, you are running on a highway and you have a car and you have a car. You leave a lot of space, what happens? Another car will come in. But if you're going like bumper to bumper, I mean, I'm not saying you go that way. I'm just, don't take it literally. Yeah. So what happens that nobody can come in. So similarly, our mind is running. And if you just keep Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Mind is now blocked because it's hearing and I'm doing the same thing. So it's not moving. So that's what he said, you try to do that. And we should try to, be in front of deities, having a nice picture of this is like, you can keep this kind of picture where you can see the deities. And then chant. So our eyes are engaged, our ears are engaged, our tongue is engaged, everything is engaged, our hand is engaged because we are chanting on the beats. So that way all our senses gets engaged in that. And that way the mind comes under control. It's very difficult. And this we can try. I'm telling you, maybe one round we do. Next round is again, it's going to go. In that round itself, yeah, that's what it is. Yes. So Krishna is pleased when we put that sincere effort. Krishna is always pleased that if we allow the mind to go, okay, let it go, then we also go after it, then that is not right. We have to try and bring it back. That effort is required. Mind is definitely going to go away. No question about it. We are still not at pure stage, right? So we have to try that. But this is how we can, that's what Chandanivas Prabhuji guided me. So I try to do that. But it's not easy, I can tell you. It's difficult.
It's like when you go on the road, you're totally out. Like somebody cuts you off.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Mind is even worse. Mind is even worse than that. Because the thoughts are coming, very random thoughts. Something that you saw 1 week before, the thought will come at that time. That's why he said we have to read nice things, we have to see good pictures, not seeing nice videos. So we will remember those things. If we see something else, then what happens? Then we will remember those things that we have seen. The impression is stored in our mind. And that stays forever, long, long time. And we might be carrying some impression from past life and so on. So we have to keep this mind under control. Very important. Otherwise, mind will take us for a ride. So here, Prabhupada writes, one cannot be called civilized person without acquiring the above mentioned preliminary qualities. These are preliminary qualities. Basic, just okay. This you must have as a human. Preliminary. It's like, okay, now we are in KG. Now we have to do PhD. So we can now imagine how much efforts are required. Besides this, the Brahmanas, the intelligent man, the administrative man, and the mercantile community and the laborer class must acquire special qualities in terms of occupational duties mentioned in all the Vedic scriptures. So in the Varnashram, when we have this, right, we must have certain qualities to be called as Brahman, to be called as Kshatriya. And these things are not by birth. Please remember this. This position, this Varna is not by birth. Unfortunately, people think I am born in Brahman, so I am like Brahman. And they will do all nonsense activity also. But say, no, I am Brahman. That is not how it is. It is based on how we act, right? And that's how it is defined. So this is something one should understand. We should try to understand. And see, you can see that Krishna is in the center of all the Varna and Ashram. That's why it is called Devi Varnashram. If Krishna is not in the center and if you are still following Varna, then it is not Devi Varnashram. Devi means Krishna is in the center. We are keeping and trying to please Krishna, and that's what we are doing. Okay. So let's see what Prabhupada says about the different Varnashrams. Now here, Prabhupada writes some important points and how we should deal with certain things. For example, where did we? Okay. For the intelligent man, controlling the senses is the most essential qualification. This is the most essential for intelligent person, because intelligent person is what? Who knows who am I? What is my true nature? Who I belong to? That's intelligent person knows. Now that we have studied Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, listening to lectures, we all know who we are, right? So we should know that we should not pamper our senses. So here Prabhupada says that one should control the family life. So family life is controlled automatically by making sure that we only have children that we need, not more than that. And also, an intelligent man abuses his great qualification if he does not follow the Vedic way of life. Somebody is very intelligent, for example, professor, scientist, and all that. They have a lot of intelligence, isn't it? That's why doing research and so many things. They're writing advanced papers, giving advice to others. But if you look into their personal life, it's very different. They are doing all nonsensical activities, and everybody, whoever they follow, they will also do the same thing. So, because they live degraded life, all the community will also get affected. Therefore, it is mentioned that intelligent man should must follow the Vedic life. Not doing that is going to impact everybody else. Everybody else. That's a big problem. That's what happens when we see the leaders doing some, activities. Like, for example, when the controversy happened in the president in US few years ago, and somebody in India was caught doing the same thing, and he says, "Oh, when president of US can do it, what is the big deal in that?" They will give examples like that. So that is not right. And this means that we should make the study of Vedic scripture. What are those? Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, very, very seriously. Everybody should study. All the kids must read some shloka, read them, try to understand. Everybody should do it. And how we should do it? We should approach bona fide person to read them, to understand them. Not reading on our own, because on our own, as Shriram Prabhu pointed out, right? We listen 10 times. Why? Because we are trying to listen on our own and still not able to understand, right? So that's what it is. And one should not do things which are forbidden in the Shastras. Do's and don'ts. Shastra gives both things. What we should do, what we should not do, right? That's what we just saw. The Bhishma is saying, do these things, Don't do this thing. So these things are very important. A person cannot be a teacher if he drinks or smokes. Now, normally we see teacher is very intelligent person and they have huge impact on the student. But if the teacher is smoking after the class and students see him, they will also say, oh yeah, I can also do it. Because my teacher is doing it. He's intelligent. I can be intelligent, I can also do this activity. So that's what happens when the leaders do degraded activities. Therefore, the result of education is misuse of high intelligence in so many ways. This is what happens. Now, here Prabhupada now further describes important points about Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Brahman. All of them are described here. So here Prabhupada gives, and let's try to understand. See, some of these are something that we could implement. Very easy to do it, but it's difficult. As we were discussing yesterday or day before yesterday, reading our Chaitanya Chaitanya reading, that after we make little advancement in something and we think this is what I should do, we feel that, oh my God, I wasted so much time before. I wish I had known this. I wish I had done attentively these things. I wish I have read Bhagavad Gita from long ago when somebody gave me. It was lying in my cupboard 10 years. I did not read it. Now I'm reading it. So I lost 10 years. We regret, right? So we should not live a regretful life. We should try to implement as quickly as possible. The Kshatriya, the member of the administrative class, is especially advised to give charity and not to accept charity in any circumstances. Charity is only meant for which class? Who should get the charity? Only Brahmana. Charity. Shudra gets paid for the work that they do. They don't get charity. But Brahmana is one who gets charity because they are trying to give knowledge to the society. And they are the only one who are qualified to get charity. Nobody else. The knowledge should be there with everybody so that they can live the life accordingly. Right? Kshatriya also should know. If they know the Shastra, then they will lead the people accordingly. Today's leader, they have no knowledge of Shastra. So we can see how they are leading people. They are cheating, they are doing corruptions. And people still follow, saying, no. But at least in political life, he is fine. I don't care what he's doing after that. No, we should think about it. What he's doing after that also. That's important. So Kshatriya should not accept charity, but they should read. They must be very well read. Prabhupada further writes, modern administrators raise subscriptions for some political functions, but never give charity to the citizens in any state function. They all do corruption. Yes, sir. Aryan are the ones, how to explain this? Aryan are, what can we say here?
Nobility. Noble people.
Yeah, Aryan and Dravidian,
Cultured,
two.
noble.
Yeah, those kind of things. So basically, huh?
Is it a adjective?
It's a classification.
No, classification. Classification of people.
Aryan. Aryan.
Yeah. So every word is being read. You have to be careful. All the kids are very intelligent here. Very nice.
So they read so much about World War II, right? So kids get so confused a lot of times and they say our swastika and their swastika, German.
Yeah, German is little.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is always there.
Clarify that, like,
Yes. The swastika is, I have also had that problem. When I put when Dashara Day, I did some puja. So I had swastika on my laptop. Then I took it in the client location. And our managing director says, no, just cover this. What happened? This swastika. No. They will think you are like, Yeah, so just cover it. So they forced me to put some sticker and all that. I put that.
wait, the original cannot be shown because of the fake.
That's what it is. See, exactly. Very nice point. Original cannot be shown because the fake is there. Yeah, that's what happens.
It's a different thing. So the Nazis never called it a swastika.
No, they never call.
So it's called a Hauken cross. It's a hooked cross, basically. So they repurposed the Christian cross into a hooked cross. and Hitler called it Hauken Cross. So they never called it swastika.
Yeah, they never call, but it looks like that. So what happens? People go with the visual, right? So when they see it, they think, oh, this is exactly that. Only thing in our swastika is like, no, more straight, that is little twisted. That is all. But otherwise, it's all same. So that's why they think that, oh, I'm using this. And people get confused. So that's what happens. It is just the reverse in the injunctions of the Shastra. Means the Kshatriya should give charity. They should, they should not take from people. Today's thing is collect tax for self-enjoyment. That's what it is. Tax is not used properly. The administrative class must be well versed in the Shastras, but must not take to the professional of teachers, because that is reserved for who? Brahmanas. They will teach and they will get income. If Kshatriya also start teaching, then how they will get income? See, you can see this, how these varnas are very clearly, there is a differentiation which is there. You do only this activity, nothing else. And they are happy with that. And with this, everybody can make progress also in the life. And everybody lives very harmoniously. Today it's become so crisscross that nobody knows who is who. And another important point Prabhupada makes here, the administrator should never pretend to become non-violent and thereby go to hell. So Kshatriya means they have to protect, they have to fight. The classic example is Arjun. When Arjun became coward, saying, I cannot fight because I have got my relatives, my brother, uncle, my grandfather, my teacher, how can I do it? Krishna chastised him. What are you thinking? He has to speak so many verses just to make sure that he understands. So that's what Prabhupada is. Yeah, Buddha was always thinking of Shunyavad. Means there is nothing, no existence.
No, yeah, but then what he did was he belonged to a Kshatriya, he was a Kshatriya.
But
he renounced, he took to non-violence, renounced.
Yeah, so that is something that you are going to sannyas level, which is everybody will do. So we are talking about varna and ashram. So in all the varna also you will follow the ashram. In all the varna also you can follow the ashram. So it's not that varna is different. Those both goes together. So even Kshatriya will be doing brahmachari, then he can marry and grahastha, then vanprastha, like that. Because after they are old, they will not fight, right? So they anyway have to do this. So they will follow. So every varna has to follow ashram also. That's why it's called varna ashram.
But only at that certain age they have.
Yeah, certain age. Like 0 to 25 is your brahmachari ashram, where you do study, you acquire knowledge, study shastra, acquire skills, all those things. From 26 to 50, it's like your grahastha ashram, right? Ideally, we should live a life of sannyasi from the beginning, but that is not possible because our senses are so strong that we need, some enjoyment. So that's why you go into grahastha ashram. So once it is done, then after 50 years, we go into which ashram? Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means now focusing on the, of oneself and Lord, and then disconnecting from the world slowly. In fact, it is mentioned that before entering into grahastha ashram, we should have an exit strategy. Okay, how will I go into Varna ashram? How will I go into Vanaprastha? That exit strategy must be there. In fact, when Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji, who's in Chowpatty, he is a disciple of Radhanath Maharaj. So he before marrying, he went to Maharaj. Disciples, he said, Maharaj, I'm now getting married, so please, give me advice. What should I do and all? He says, Maharaj says, before you enter Grihastha ashram, you must have the exit strategy, meaning how you will go into Vanaprastha. Means we should have plan. Right? We all make plans, right? In 5 years, I'll buy a house. After that, I will do this. I'll close my loan. All these plans are there. But you all must have plan. Right? After 50 years, what will I do? Where will I live? What will I do? Those things, retirement plan, basically. See, financially, we make all retirement plans, isn't it? We have 401k, we invest more. After retirement, I want like 100,000 every year. All these things are there. And we keep increasing our investment. But what is the plan for our soul? We have to think about it. So that planning is required. It is never late to plan. You can plan at any stage. So exit strategy is very important. Yeah.
As soon as Kapila Dev
Yes,
grew up,
Kapil Dev.
that the moment he left for the
Absolutely. Absolutely. As soon as that is very beautiful example. Because Kardamuri and Devahuti, they got married and they lead very wonderful life. But as soon as the children were born and all that, okay, one ashram finished. Now let's go into the one person immediately. Like that. So Bhagavatam is teaching all this thing. We just have to read every chapter, every story which is there. And these are real stories. This happen in different manvantar, different yugas and all that. But these are things which have happened. These are handpicked by Sukadeva Goswami. Because Parishit Maharaj did not have a lot of time. 7 days, how much you can tell? So he was telling only very specific and very important stories from where we can get inspiration, learn something, and then implement in our life, make our life successful. Otherwise, Sukadeva Goswami can keep on speaking story after story. And it will not end, but he had only 7 days to speak. So he chose very important stories to tell us, to tell Parikshit Maharaj. Through that, now we are relishing those things. Yeah, so when Arjun wanted to become a non-violent coward on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was severely chastised by Lord Krishna. How can you speak like this? You are a Kshatriya, you have to fight. Do your duty. Do your duty. And we all have to do our duty by keeping Krishna in the center. All have to do our duty. Mataji have to manage their homes, cooking, all these things. We have to earn. The kids have to study. Everything must be done. But Krishna must be in the center. When we keep Krishna in center, whatever we do will become like a devotional service. It will become devotional service. So that is what we all need to do. Then further in the next, we'll not go the whole purport, but we'll go to the Vaishya. So Vaishya is what? Mercantile community. They are specially advised to protect the cows. So Kshatriyas are advised to protect the humans. And Vaishyas are advised to protect the cows. Right? Cow protection means increasing the milk production, namely curd and butter. The cow protection means it's a prosperity only. So Prabhupada used to say, if you have a little land, one cow, that's all. Your life will be perfect. Nothing else is required. Cow will give milk. You can make ghee, butter, dahi, all those stuff. Your little land, you can grow some grains and vegetables and fruits. That's it. What else you need? What does body need? Water, okay. Food. That's it. All get this. Water, food, shelter. Now you may not get pizza and all that, okay? Because you may make it, but still. Yeah, clothes, yes, of course. Yeah.
And then we used to leave it. Oh.
Yeah, that's what it is. So here further, as this is important. See, mercantile community backed by education in Vedic knowledge and trained to give in charity. So everybody, you can see, everybody is trained in this Vedic knowledge. Everybody must have, it's not just Brahmanas should learn. No. Everybody must have this knowledge of scriptures. So that they can conduct their life in that particular varna properly. That's what it is. So giving charity. So give me an example where the charity is being given in Bhagavatam by Vaishyas. Any examples?
Maharaj goes.
Yes. Nandotsav. When Krishna was born, next day was so much celebration. And Nand Maharaj is what? He's a Vaishya. He's giving so much charity. Because if Vaishyas and all Grahasthas, they don't give charity, who else can give? Brahman cannot give. He is in fact waiting for charity. Yeah, only they can give charity. So we all have to give charity. All have to do charity wherever we can. Yes. So Nand Maharaj is setting example that he is giving charity when Krishna was born. His naming ceremony is happening, and he's Nandosav, when he was born, both time he gave a lot of profusely, he gave so much charity, cows to Brahmana, so much wealth he has given, distributed. That's what it means to give, distribute our wealth. Any other examples where this charity is given? Something happened during Kaliya Daman Leela. Anybody remember? When Kaliya Daman Leela, where was Balramji? Was he there? Why? That was his birthday. And where was he? He was with his mother, Rohini Devi, to celebrate. How we are celebrating? By giving their charity. See, Lord himself is teaching us that how we should lead our life. Oh, yes. Yeah, he gave. So somebody asked. Okay, it was asked. Here is giving on their own. Asking is also fine. You can give that also. But asking means, when beggar asks and all that, we should not give cash and all that. Money, because we don't know how that money will be used. We should give food, water, all those things. Those things can be good. Because when we give, it will come here further, the purpose. The Prabhupada says if we are giving money, or if the Shudras get a lot of money, then they will misuse. They will misuse. They will use it for drugs and liquor and all those stuff. So they should not do that. We should avoid that. As the Kshatriyas were given charge of the protection of the citizens, Vaishyas were given the charge of the protection of animals. Animals are never meant to be killed. No animal should be killed. Killing of animals is a symptom of barbarian society. So therefore, we should be all vegetarian. It's very important. For a human being, agriculture produces fruits and milk are sufficient and compatible foodstuffs. That's what we need. We all talk about it. We need food, water, breathing, we can do anywhere, and some shelter. That's it. Everything is taken care of. So the point which Vishwadev mentioned of simple living is taken care there itself. We have this kind of life. The more we accumulate wealth, becomes problem for us. How to manage, what to do. Somebody will steal. That fear is there. I will lose money. All this, and then we try to become. We want to expand our territory. 1 house, 2 house, 3 house. And then it becomes so difficult. And then it is very difficult to wind down. If you want to wind down, then it's become difficult because you always are hankering. I'm going to live for more life. I'm still healthy. I can still manage. Mind is very tricky. Mind plays beautiful games. And make sure we stay in this world. In fact, when Prabhupada was traveling by jet planes, at the time, so some reporter, all that, they ask, why are you traveling by, you're sannyasi, you should not travel by plane and all. You are traveling by jet. Well, no, the way the human society is getting degraded, they are degrading at the jet speed, so I have to travel by jet speed to protect them. Prabhupada is one-liner which are very perfect, He'll give us one-liner, amazing.
That day, priest was telling the
Jagannath
story.
Prabhu.
Oh my
Right.
God. Unbelievable.
All one-liners, right?
So good.
Prabhupada is amazing. He's very intelligent. His one-liners are absolutely fantastic. Okay. So here, see, this is what the human society should give more attention to animal protection. The productive energy of the laborer is misused when he is occupied by industrial enterprise. That's what is happening today. So much slavery is happening. People are exploited. Right? If you see in countries like China, Hong Kong, and all that, they live in such a small place, so much work they do. Even in India, there is so much child labor happening. The government is trying to do, but people are still exploiting. This keeps on happening. That should not happen. Now let's look at Shudra class, what he's saying. The Shudra class is less intelligent and should have no independence. The Shudra should not have any independence of their own because they don't have knowledge. They are not studying scriptures and all that, so they have not acquired that knowledge. So what they should? They should serve Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana. They can serve all of them, and by serving, they can make their livelihood. They can make their livelihood by just serving them. The Shudra class can attain all comforts of the life simply by rendering service to the higher classes. So simply by rendering service, they can get this done. So in Hitopajas, there is a verse, which is very nice verse. See, if we do this activity, these are the activities like eating, mating, sleeping, defending, and intelligence. Intelligence only with the humans. Everything else is done by animals also. We are eating, dog also eats. We are sleeping, dog also sleep. In fact, they may have a better home, at least in the US. They're sleeping in a very nice comfort, and how much money is spent on them. So this is done by all of us and animals also. So what's different between us and them? Here the verse which comes in. Ahara nidra bhayamaytunam cha samanametat pashubhir naranam dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Did you read that? I didn't read it. But we have to differentiate ourselves, whether we be called the same animals, two-legged animal. That's it. No difference. Now it is mentioned here. It is especially enjoying that a Shudra should never bank money. As soon as they have money, what happens? They will misuse in the sinful activities of wine, woman, and gambling. Wine, woman, and gambling indicates that the population is degraded to less than Shudra quality. Less than Shudra quality. Of course, meat eating is completely ruled out, but even if somebody indulges in these activities, it is lower than Shudra. So we can imagine that the human society which we see today, where they are, is so much degradation. And we should never ever go in that direction. Never. Associating with them also should be avoided as much as we can. For a work and business, something that you do, that may be just as interaction, but nothing more. Otherwise, they will take us down. And higher caste should take care of the Shudras, maintenance and all that. Like we talked about, we have a servants, we should take care of them. Because they should feel protection. They feel protected. And they will never leave us. There are servants who stay with the householder for years and years, and 30, 40 years. They're living. They're happy. Yeah. Just serving, doing nothing. And they are paid because they get what? Nice food, they get clothing, they get some shelter. That's it they need. That's what we need. We need only this thing. We make big things because thinking I need more comfort and all those things, but that's all creating more and more problems in life. We don't realize when we do all these things, but later on, like when we go old, when people grow old. I was talking to one devotee who was like is in 70s. He says, Prabhuji, I'm looking for a small home because it's difficult to clean, who will sweep, who will maintain, difficult. They are looking for smaller homes now. 1 bedroom is fine. For 1 bedroom is available difficulty also. Now they make all big homes here. It's like that. Now further Prabhupada writes, the Varnas are, so to speak, classification of different occupation, and ashram dharma is gradual progress on the path of self-realization. So this is what I was talking about. The self-realization must be done for everybody. Varna is Kshatriya also should do self-realization, Brahman also do, Shudra, everyone should follow ashram, which is brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Everybody. This is important. Both are interrelated and one is dependent on the other. The main purpose of ashram dharma is to awaken the knowledge and detachment. So here you can see this, where, see, if we are attached to our senses, then we will never get Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states this in Antya Leela. He says this. See what he's saying? Who wants to take chance? We are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Oh, please go ahead, Vina. Yeah. We cannot run Krishna if we are trying to go here and there. Oh, new restaurants open, I must go and eat there. Oh, this is a food stall. Oh, this is a coupon which has come. 50% discount, keep looking. I know family who keep looking for this, and then they, based on that, they will follow also. Okay, yeah, pizza is out, let's go and buy pizza. Because one free, Subway free. Like, one, what is it, look, foot long or something, right? It's something, foot long, half foot something. So then the foot long, 1 foot long with 1 foot long free. That you pay for one. People wait for that to come. And when that happens, that Subway is packed with a free. Because one of our relative works in Subway. So she tells, the day these ads have gone, the Subway is full, lot of queue. So because it's free, so I want to eat, I want to enjoy. They never get Krishna. Not possible.
They want to save what is important to them. With money.
Money, and what with that, what
With
they will
money,
do.
money.
That is more important. If they want to save money, they should not eat that pizza and Subway itself. They're spending to save. How is that? They're spending anyway. We don't understand. For example, people go on buying sale and all that, but if they're actually spending, see, you say 50% discount. All right. Something which is for $100, now you got 50, but you are spending 50. If you don't go there, you will save 50 also. I told my family also, sale, I will never go. If you need something, I'll buy at the full price, but when you need it, no sale. So we don't go on sale. I don't go. India also, I never encourage them to go for sale. Yes, really.
Buy one, get one. I mean, get one Bhagavad Gita, get another one free, and they'll get more people will get Bhagavad Gita.
No, why? You have to become intelligent to give more Bhagavad Gita with money, na? Why want to give free? See, I'll tell you one story. So Prabhupada had a disciple. In the initial stage when Prabhupada was only relying on book distribution to raise money. Okay, in early stage, Prabhupada will say, please distribute back to Cotton magazine, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all this, and then whatever money comes, through which the temple used to run. There's nobody will give donation because Hare Krishna, who knew? Nobody knew that people will give donation, nobody gave money like that. So devotees used to work very hard. They will go out and distribute books and so much. And those magazines, back to whatever will sell for $1, $2, like that, very small amount. So when earlier days, when they used to do this book distribution and come back in the evening and they say, Prabhupada, I got $15. Somebody say, I got Prabhupada $10, $20, like that. They will come and give it. Prabhupada says, very good, very good. He was very happy. And they will say, very good, good job. Let's do more, like that. Because all this, when this $10, $15, $20 are put together, they become huge sum, and then Prabhupada will be able to pay rent for that space, right? So Prabhupada used to be very happy. Now, after that, this movement became bigger and bigger. And then these devotees started distributing books and mega books, and then Marathon Month came. So in Marathon Month, the same devotee distributed a huge amount of books. And at the end of the month, he came and gave 100,000 cash. $100,000 in cash. And this time, Prabhupada just took it and put it down. That's it, said nothing. So he was like, so he got realization for $10, $15. Prabhupada used to say, very good, a lot of inspiration. But when he gave 100,000, Prabhupada said nothing. And somebody will say, how is it? Prabhupada has given such a thing that if we make, shoes from our skin and put it Ask Srila Prabhupada to wear. Even that is not sufficient. Because Prabhupada has given so much to us that 100,000 is nothing. So that sannyasi got realization that in the initial stage, because they were new, they needed encouragement. So Prabhupada will say, yes, yes, very good, very good. Like for example, if the kid is young, they will do some scribbling and all that. He'll be happy. Oh, yeah, very good. When he grow up and say, what is this? Isn't it? We tell our child, what is this? You don't know how to draw this circle also? Immediately, right? The child says, but when I was young, you were telling this nice. Now I'm doing same thing. You are not. The same thing that sannyasi got realization that how, we should be respectful to Srila Prabhupada regardless of what he is doing. So that's how we should. Right, Srihari? Okay. So where were we? We lost track.
Take a shortcut.
Huh? What is that?
Gita and Sel.
Gita and Sel, yes.
Like, as a child always like find an easy way, right?
Of course, everybody, not child, everybody finds. We find shortcuts everywhere.
Shortcuts,
We don't follow certain shortcut because of the rules, regulation, sometimes, all those things. Everybody is looking for shortcut. Everybody is looking to work less and earn more. And the employers want to make you work more and pay less. This is how it's happening. The exploitation is happening exactly in this way.
two ways.
Both ways. We don't want to work more, but we want more money. An employee want to make you work more and then you pay you less. That's how it is. That's the material world what we all are living in. Our only solace is Krishna. So here we're reading. Yeah. Yes. No. I was reading something and I missed out. Yeah. So the main purpose of ashram dharma is to awaken knowledge and detachment. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to exactly teach this thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to exactly teach things because Mahaprabhu came as what? As a devotee, right? You will not get Krishna here. See here, this is a verse from again Madhya Lila. Chaitanya Charitamrita is such a wonderful scripture, dear devotees. But we all should read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very beautiful. We are reading it every day, and it's so beautiful. We have 4 or 5 of us joins. It's so wonderful. I mean, every time we read and say, wow, nice like that. There's so much nectar in every verse. And Prabhupada gives such an amazing purpose to some of these verses. It's very beautiful. I mean, our clarity comes, I can tell you. A lot of clarity comes by studying those. So here, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So, okay, who wants to read? Who has not read? Yes, go ahead.
Translation. Let me take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who has descended in form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us the real knowledge. His devotional service and detachment from whatever does not foster Krishna consciousness. He has descended because he is an ocean of transcendental mercy. Let me surrender unto his lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is what it is, right? So we can recite this word. Very beautiful word. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharthameka Purusha Purana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Pambudirjastam Aham Prapadye. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us exactly this, that how we can develop devotional activities in our lives and how we can become detached. This detachment is very much required. In every stage, detachment is there. We have to practice detachment, dear devotees. It will not happen that at the end of the life I will detach. No, in fact, we'll be more attached to things. We'll be more attached to this. More attached to things. And our mind at the time become more rigid. When you see old people, they are sometimes very rigid. They will say, no, it has to be done like this. So it is how we have to, unless we are doing nice bhakti and we are attached, it's very difficult to remain detached. So we have to practice this. That's what Mahaprabhu came to teach all of us. Mahaprabhu came just to teach all these things. So these are the ashram that we talked about: brahmacharya, grihastha, varnashram, vanprastha, and sannyasa ashram. So these are the ashram that we should try to follow. And before we end, just let's read a few things. So the brahmacharya ashram is a training ground for the prospective candidates. It's for, like, in ISKCON we have called where in India, not Gurukul, basically, when the youth, when they come for a job from outside, like, come to Mumbai, for example, if they come from a remote village or a city, then they can come and live in ISKCON. But they have to follow the whole routine. They wake up at 3:30 and do Mangalati at 4:30, everything round, chanting 16 rounds, following regular principles. So they go and work, come back in the evening, again follow, do some service. But they can live for free. But still, not many people are coming. Free living, all free food. What else you need? But only thing is the sadhana. That is the difficult part. Like we were listening, yes, last week only, that Shloka Prabhu's parents were being told, right?
You're talking about the base.
Yes, base. Yeah, this is exactly the base. So that's what it is. This is how they preach to the youth. So there are various bases which are running. This is exactly what they want to teach them about this. It's a training ground. See, if we don't teach all these children what to read, or how they will learn. At later age, it's very difficult for them to pick up something like that. It's not easy. In this ashram, it is instructed that this material world is not actually the home of the living being. This is not our home. This is not our home. Which is our home? Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. That is our real home. But somehow we are here, unfortunately. But fortunately, we are in this parampara. So that is good. So we can do nice bhakti and go back to God in this life itself. The conditioned souls under material bondage are prisoners of matter, and therefore self-realization is the ultimate aim of life. These can be taught from the childhood, and the children will do something wonderful. Even later on, when they little sway away from this, they will come back because they have seen, they have tested this. So they will come back. Don't worry. The whole system of ashram dharma is a means to detachment. Whole system is for detachment only. Developing how to detach. So if you are not following Varna ashram, that means attachment is going to be there. Even within this, so much attachment comes in. So much attachment. Household life is for one who is attached, and the Vanprastha and Sannyas order of life are for those who are detached from material life. The Brahmachari ashram is especially meant for training both the attached and the detached. So this is how we all can implement this Devi Varnashram in our lives. Teach our children about the Devi Varnashram so they can learn. And we have to study with them. We have to become an example for our children because they observe, they see, they listen less, but they observe more. So if you do certain things in the way they will look up to, then they will pick it up. Otherwise, they will say, this is not going to help me. Right? So with this, we will end here. We couldn't cover more, but we'll try to do next. Hare Krishna. So is there any question or a comment or a correction? Yes, ma'am.
Varnashram stages and everything. Were they ever followed even in India?
Yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
most families would not have Vanaprastha or sannyas, right? Most families. I have not. I'm sure I don't have that much exposure.
Yeah.
But
No, it was followed definitely. See, not everybody would be able to do it, but it was definitely followed. And that's how our Sanskruti, our culture was maintained thus far. For example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling on a yatra, he went to South Yatra and he visited various places. He even came to, he was in Maharashtra also. He passed to one village and from there now our Loknath Goswami is from the same village. So when the sannyasis travel, they also make those spaces more potent for bhakti. And definitely Varnashram was followed. Sannyas doesn't mean that they will become like, they will wear saffron and all that. It's not like that. Because sannyas also there are various levels.
But they will detach from their family, right?
Yes. So
That is for sure.
that is for sure. That is for sure.
Nobody does that.
Yeah, because everybody wants to enjoy. Still 93, I'm working because my body is working, my mind is working. So why I should not do this? That's what the reason is given by everybody.
People would say that we spent all our life in taking care of our kids. Now it's the time to relax and
Ah.
enjoy.
Correct. Now it's time to go and see the world. There is nothing to see in this world. The much better things are there waiting for us, but we are attached to this world, and that's what happens. That's what the reason Maya is keeping us here, tied to this world. See, we keep hearing this, and I'm telling myself all these things again and again, but still we are not able to get out of this. That is so strong, so
It's
strong.
very true that you have to have a plan.
We have to have a plan. Yes. You will always get busy with something else. Recently, one devotee went back to Vrindavan. He said, I'm not going to come back. He was in US. He said, I'm not coming back. Full time in Vrindavan now. His kids are grown, kids are having family and all that. So he said, I'm going. Now he's going to be 100% in Vrindavan. Namas. That's it. Do just bhajan, serve devotees and whatever service that you can do. That's what. So he had a plan. He executed that. The same thing, we all must have a plan. That when will I retire? And after retirement, what I will do? That's more important. Once you retire, sometime I don't know. Now what to do? Whole day, like every day we are busy. Now suddenly you retire, we have nothing to do. So then what? Then we get confused. Now what do I do? That's what problem happens. So if we don't have plan, we must make one. Very important. Very important to make plans. Yes.
Varnashram system, right? Like it's not by birth, right? Like
No.
in a family,
Yeah.
you could have a Brahmana,
Yes.
then you could have a Kshatriya, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so how did they conduct their, livelihood or daily life then? Like the Kshatriya would go and do his duty.
Yeah, everybody will follow their Varnashram system. So if Kshatriya, for example, let's take an example of Hiranyakashipu, who born there, Prahlad Maharaj, pure devotee. So we can see that even in the demons family, the pure devotees are born. So if you say he is from a, demoniac family, that means he cannot be a devotee. That's not correct. He's in fact, Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahajan, whom we should follow. Mahajano ena pathasana. So Gathasa Panta. So if you have to follow them, that means they are living some exemplary life. So it doesn't matter where you are born. Many times I have seen personally, when I live in Mumbai, when I used to live there, the people say I am from South Indian Brahman family. Some Brahman they say, I don't remember which. But they do all other activities which are not suitable for that Brahman. But just because I am born, I am getting that entitlement that I am Brahman. Just by wearing the thread around your, waist doesn't make you Brahman. It doesn't make one Brahman. That's not. It is by the qualities. We have to develop these qualities. Then we become Brahman. So this Varnashram is always never by birth. Never. Yes, by getting birth in a Brahman family, one has an advantage. Because all the Brahmanic activities are going on, deity worship, chanting, reading, all this is going on. So that person has an advantage. But if that person doesn't take advantage and does some nonsense activity, then that's not going to help. Huh? Yeah. So we have to make sure that we We do this, otherwise it's very difficult. Even for example, within the devotee community, when we come together, we are here, we are doing, so many devotees come and so many devotees go also. So many devotees go, they vanish. And that too not just, somebody who's come new. When new person comes, they are very enthusiastic. Because there's so much to do, right? Like, when the kids will start writing, they will write on scribble on walls and whatever they see, they will start writing because they are enthusiastic. So new devotee comes, they want to chant, they want to serve. Everywhere they will be seen. Everywhere there. After that, once the saturation comes, and then hard thing happens. That okay, now I have to do only japa. I have to read, which is the difficult part. But if you don't hold on to this situation, then we will just go. That's why Maharaj says that devotees are falling like raindrops. Devotees are falling like raindrops. The raindrops are happening right now. People fall because of bad association, not doing sadhana properly, not reading the scriptures, not listening to lectures. Actually, this is our food. This fourth thing is food for our soul. If we are not doing this, one day if you don't do it, you see how our consciousness. One day, try to miss just chanting, try to avoid listening to class, try not to read anything, and see how your day went. Just observe.
Life, I would ever read every page of
You can.
saying like,
Yeah.
if I start now, right, like I'm like
Yes.
60, close to 60, right?
No problem.
I'm
I can
saying
give
that
you the-
we have so much of literature to read, like, we should be
So what we
getting
should do is we should take one literature and try to finish that. See what happens many times we try to read, and that's happened with me. Like, I have so many books. And my daughter keeps saying, "What will you do?" I will read. Then I tell them, "Okay, now I'm going to gift you in your marriage." So you have to read. Like that. But thing is that we should stick to one book and finish the end to it. I'm telling you, Puja Mataji, engaged other Matas here in US in some readings, group in Pune. They are reading every day. So many books they have read so far. So many books they have read every day. They are reading, for 45 minutes, 1 hour. And so many books they have finished. I'm like, my God, so much. I'm not reading that much. The Mata is reading so much every day. And she tells me, you should read this, you should read that. So I'm saying consistency. Every day, if you read something, every day, then you will see that how far, like, for example, Bhagavatam. We started in COVID. Nobody knew we'll be able to read 12 cantos. And we read whole 12 canto, all 18,000 verses. Translation we read.
1.5 years.
Yeah. But it took such a long time. But consistency helped. Now we are in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? We are in the Adi Leela. We are in the 9th chapter, 7th chapter. But we are reading every day. Within next 1 year, it will get over. So point is every day. Do it every day with whatever. Even if we read just 2 shloka, still enough. Then we'll develop taste. Then we want to read more. Yeah, that timing is required. See, that is what the sthan, location, the space, the time that 11 o'clock is my time. Like, see, we all have a meeting, right? In office, we get pop-up 15 minutes before the pop-up comes. Oh, this meeting is coming up. And we get prepared for that. Same thing, we should have time. What is happening is that we, especially with me, there is no fixed time. Whenever I will have time, I will read. That is difficult to find time. We have to have time and then work around that. At 6 o'clock, do not disturb more. I will read for 30 minutes and then I will do anything else. See, we have to imagine that we are in front of Krishna. Then what we'll do? We'll keep away everything else, right? Bhagavatam is what? Not different from Krishna itself.
Association, just like two family members.
Yes, together. Both, when we see the Grahastha ashram has an advantage that we can read together. And especially husband and wife both are in bhakti. It is very helpful. We can sit together, read. We involve children if required, whenever they are. So that's how we can continue. But every day, if we fix a time, that's why we read at 7 o'clock. And Vilas Prabhu by default 7 o'clock he does Zoom. He doesn't look at messages. Today no class. He will there. Prabhu, there is no class today. So this is, I like, is his mind. 7 o'clock means I have to just zoom. He's always there. So like that. So when we develop this habit, then it will happen. Just consistency, probably.
Sometimes I take from the parking lot of Vital Brothers, parking lot of gas stations.
Everywhere. Wherever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that time, if we can manage that, we can do it.
There's also like one more side of this, the other side of this. I was just listening to Hari Parshad Prabhu.
Hmm.
So instead of just reading like 30 different books, like on the surface, we can just go into one book like very
Yeah,
deep.
deeper, yes.
So he's giving a lecture series on Nectar of Instruction, just 11 verses. And he is in part 30 now, and he has only covered 5 verses.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it's
he's
going
doing like
deeper
a
and deeper.
60 part series on Nectar of Instruction.
Correct.
11 verses.
See, this is called study.
So,
This is not reading. Reading means I can be like what we do, right? Reading. See, we should listen to these exalted devotees. Hari Parshad Prabhu is a very exalted, amazing devotee. He is a disciple of. Maybe I don't know about it. Maybe he would have come here, but he's very amazing. He is. Look at him. He is very learned. He's a professor. He's very professor. He's a professor, but he has taken up a very small job where he works very limited hours. And rest of the time he's spending on the Shastra, reading, scrutinizing, all those things. He's expert in Sanskrit. Amazing devotee. Devotee of Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj. Very amazing devotee. Very simple. If you meet him, you will not feel he's like Hari Parshad. That's what Prabhupada was mentioning. We should not see the person, exalted devotee is like a normal boy. No. That every, from every pore there, Krishna is coming from these kind of devotees. It's very beautiful.
part 5 and he's still in verse 1.
Yeah, that's what.
And each class is like 1 hour long with 1 hour of questions.
Yes.
Can you share?
Yes, I'll send it to Prabhu and he can maybe post it.
Okay, we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.